Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Rosemary, and in today's video I have more affordable and adorable Valentine gift ideas using supplies that are actually still available from Dollar Tree and Walmart. This is part 2 of the series, and if you haven't seen part 1 and like the look of these little cuties, I will leave a link at the end of this video and in the description to the part 1 video. Like I mentioned in part 1, the selection of Valentine inventory was significantly depleted as of the filming of this footage on January 17th, almost a month before Valentine's, and the spring and Easter merch were moving in. I did make a stop in at both stores yesterday, January 26th, and I'm happy to report that at least at my store, that although the selection was still limited, they still had a lot of the items that they did have, like the balloons on a stick and the Valentine orangutans and other plush. So a lot of the items used in this video, as well as in part 1, were found in other parts of the store, like the craft, garden, and candle sections, where I found this gorgeous votive holder on a gold medal stand. So let's start there. I thought this would make an elegant base for a candy bouquet. For the candy, I'm going to use these strawberry and white chocolate Lindor truffles. I picked up this bag at Sam's, but you can get a 5-ounce bag at places like Walmart or Target for about $5, and those will have enough candy for this project. Instead of floral foam, I'm going to use a piece of pink pool noodle I got from Dollar Tree and just cut it to size. I'm also going to take a piece of Valentine treat bag, cut it to size, and use it to wrap the pool noodle, creating a little decorative fluff. I'll then tape in place and set the pool noodle back into the glass holder. To make the arrangement, I wanted to make it as if this cute little elephant that I actually picked up at Dollar General was holding a bunch of pink balloons. I attached the elephant to the pool noodle using my favorite double-sided tape, but a dab of hot glue would work here as well. To create the balloons, I'm going to be using these paper heart straws that I picked up at Walmart, and I'm going to take 3 of those and cut them in half. To attach the candies, I took one of the pieces and tightly wound the one end of the wrapper. I then took one of my cut straws and added some hot glue to the inside on the one end, then stuck that wound up wrapper inside. Next, I took some wood skewers that I had cut down to about 6.5 inches and added some hot glue inside the other end of the straw and inserted the skewer. I did go back to remove that extra pointy end as well. I made a total of 6 skewers with the half-size straws. This will form the first row of the candy balloons, and I just insert the skewer into the pool noodle behind the elephant. I start in the middle and work outwards towards both sides. Next, I wanted to add the balloon, and since I wanted to have the stick match the heart straws, I decided to remove the balloon from the stick. And to do that, I pressed the little tab that holds the balloon into the slot there at the top of the stick and pulled the balloon out and up to remove. Next, I took one of the wooden skewers and taped that to the bottom of the balloon and then slid that wood skewer into one of the heart straws. Then I inserted the balloon in the middle behind that first row of candies. For the second row of candy balloons, I'm going to take 6 more straws, and this time I'm going to cut off 2 inches, leaving about a 6-inch straw. Then I'll repeat the process of twisting the one end of the candy, adding hot glue inside the one end of the straw, then insert the wound candy into the wrapper. A skewer cut to about 8 inches gets glued and inserted into the other end of the straw. I'll again make 6 of these now taller balloons, then insert those behind the first row, again starting in the middle back of the arrangement and placing each of the taller balloons behind but in between 2 of the balloons on the first row. And then here it is with all the candies attached, and I did leave a little space there between the candy balloons and the actual balloon so that I can add a bow and some cellophane, and here it is all wrapped up and ready to give. Now, for our next Valentine gift idea, we're not only going to live with the fact that Easter and spring merchandise have replaced the majority of Valentine merchandise, but instead, we're going to take advantage of it. I was thrilled to see that in the garden supply section, Dollar Tree is again carrying these plastic plant cloches. And when I saw it, it reminded me of an amazing Valentine gift video from last year from the YouTube channel, the Elizardos. They have so many great ideas on their channel, which I will link in the description so you can check it out. And I just thought this one was so clever. They used one of these belle cloches to create domed vignettes filled with Valentine treats. I just loved the idea and wanted to make one, so I picked up one of the cloches along with a bear, some candy, and a ceramic plate from the glassware section. I also thought some roses would add a nice touch, so I picked up this rose stem with the glitter hearts. I was going to have the bear hold the flowers, but thought it would also be fun to make one of those fake water arrangements in clear glue, so I cut the flowers from the stem, wrapped with some floral tape, and placed them in a glass votive that I filled halfway with clear glue, then set aside for the glue to fully dry. But be aware that this does take several days to dry. You could also just arrange the flowers in floral foam or a piece of pool noodle wrapped in fabric or tissue paper. This option will come together much more quickly. Other than that, the hardest part of this project is removing this darn label from the dome. It doesn't peel off very well, and I found the best option here was soaking the label and then using a little bit, just a teeny bit of Goo Gone to remove any of that remaining adhesive. From there, it was just a matter of arranging the items on the plate. I wanted the chocolates to go behind the bear, but since they were not the same size, I taped the two together, then cut a piece of pool noodle to go underneath of the smaller box for added support. And I did get both of these at Dollar Tree. I also wanted the bear to sit up a little higher, so I cut another piece of the pool noodle for him to sit on. The rose arrangement went in next to him, and the heart-shaped box of chocolates was placed in front. To keep the components from sliding on the plate, I used small pieces of my favorite double-sided tape affixed to the bottoms. Once everything was in place, I took some red shred and added that to the plate. Next, I just placed the dome on top and taped it into place. For decoration, I used one of the small Valentine balloons that I removed from the stick and stuck that in the hole at the top of the cloche and taped it in place. Then a red bow was the finishing touch, and I just love these pull bows that I get on Amazon. I use all different sorts for my gifts and gift baskets. They're reasonably priced, store flat, and come together in no time by simply pulling the thin ribbons underneath. Then simply tie onto your gift and it imparts a professional look in no time flat. I'll leave a link in the description for some of my favorites if you want to check them out. And that's it, the perfect Valentine, complete with a teddy bear, chocolates, roses, and a balloon. Plus, it's super easy to make. Thanks again to the Elizardos for sharing this genius idea. Speaking of sharing genius ideas, the floating mischievous monkey dumping out a mailbox full of candy has long been an internet Valentine DIY favorite, and over the years, many creators have shared their versions. However, one of the key components of this DIY was the mailbox-style gift box, as the attached flap on the open mailbox allowed for a surface to which you could glue the falling candy. Unfortunately, it seems that Dollar Tree has stopped selling these mailbox-style gift boxes, so I wanted to see if we could come up with a way to make this beloved DIY without the mailbox. Fortunately, they are still selling the monkey. So technically, we could use any two containers, a small one for the monkey to dump from and a larger container to hold the dumped candy. But since there's no flap to glue the falling candy to, we would lose that in-motion effect. But that is where using candy like these Ghirardelli or Reese hearts that are packaged in little packets instead of foil wrap candy like hearts or kisses comes in. Because of the packaging, you could tape the candy together to recreate that falling candy effect. And I just love how the Ghirardelli candy goes so well with the light pink monkey, and those Reese hearts go great with that hot pink monkey. And you can pick up bags of both of these candies at places like Walmart or Target. For the containers, I'm going to go ahead and use 2 wood boxes from the craft section for my project, and to make them more Valentine, I'm going to go ahead and paint them white. Once painted, I decided to make them a little more Valentine-y by adding little pink hearts to cover the star-shaped holes on the larger container. Next, I took one of these large wine glasses that I got from the glassware section and filled the glass with pink shred. Then added a good amount of hot glue to the rim, turned it upside down, and glued the glass to the back left corner of the wood tray. Now, since I want the smaller container to appear as if it's being tipped over, I want to sit it on the wine glass bottom at a slight angle. So I took 3 of the little wood hearts and glued them together. Once dry, I took my heart trio and glued it to the base of the wine glass with the pointy end down and kind of going into the dip in the bottom of the glass. I let that set up for a few minutes and in the meantime just added some more shred to the bottom of the tray. From there, I used hot glue to attach the small box, adding hot glue to the hearts as well as the sides and front of the glass base where it would connect with the box. Next, it was time to add the candy. So I first took 2 pieces and taped the packets together on a diagonal. I taped both the front and back of the packets to ensure a good hold. From there, I taped the combo to the edge of the box and made sure to use enough tape to again ensure a good hold. Next, I wanted to add some chocolates to the inside of the box, and to secure, I decided to use my favorite double-sided tape. You could just use hot glue or regular tape, but I like the hold as well as the ability to easily reposition the candies that the double-sided tape allows. And then I'll just keep adding candies until I get the look I want. From there, more candies are added to the tray. And I will eventually add dabs of hot glue to help them stay in place. But before I do that, I wanted to attach the monkey. And to do that, I'm going to again use the double-sided tape. Hot glue can be used here instead, but again, I just like the ability to reposition that the tape allows. So I sat the monkey on the glass, then attached his head to the side of the box, positioned his arms, and wrapped his legs around the stem. The rest of the candies then went into the bottom, and a little hot glue was used to keep them in place. Lastly, I thought another one of those pink wood hearts to the top of the smaller box would add a little more Valentine flair. And that's it, a mischievous monkey floating mailbox Valentine without the mailbox. He is a super cutie and secure enough to give as is, or you can add some cellophane and a bow to add a finishing touch. And now here's another look at all 3 arrangements from this video, and then the 3 arrangements from video 1. And if you'd like to see that video, you can click here, and there will also be a link in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.